Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 premium SPG that we know and love as Fifi La Pew Pew. You might know it's a leFhy, a leaf blower, or a leHEPA. This one is located on the southeast spawn of Mountain Pass, and it's under the command of Sadrin's Vac. Game on! Well, neither of the Arty have moved. Oh, there you go, there's one. And they're both in the game now. Surprisingly, both Arty actually carry 105mm guns, although the AMX-13AM is a post-war Arty, whereas the Fifi is actually something that was built during the war after the Germans captured a number of Shure B1s. Okay, well, he's found enemy tanks right over the other end of the bowl. First shot actually impacts on the spot where the Striv M42 was, so if the guy hadn't moved away, he probably would have been hit. Sooner or later, these guys are going to stay still long enough, they're going to get hit, and I think that Cromwell's going to find out the hard way. Well, he did lose some hit points, although if he's going to be silly enough to stay around there, then he deserves to get hit again. Nope, we've got no shot there at the moment. Looking over onto the ice road, we can see a Chi 2. Now, he snapshot the first one in, and of course, whilst the reticule is very big, it makes it very difficult to actually get an accurate hit. But if that Chi 2 stays where he is right now, it won't be long before we're fully dialed in, because it only takes around about 7 seconds or 6 seconds to actually dial in fully on the target. In fact, the rate of aim is 6.73, and he just killed the Chi 2 with a penetrating shot. Now, these 105mm rounds are capable of 410 alpha, and they've got 53mm of pen with a 1.91 meters burst radius. A couple of shots can normally take out an enemy medium at this tier level. This is a tier 6 game with tier 5 tanks, meaning we're bottom tier, and the Cromwell he fired at earlier has now expired, so that's his second kill of the game. In fact, he has all of the kills for his team so far. Okay, the Porlac tank not moving about very much. Oh, and he's got a fire this time. I think he's the one who actually got that fire, which means that he's going to end up with a massive score on damage. Yes, 357 hit points of damage, as much as you would get if you did get a penetrating shot. So he's fully dialed in, fires another one in, and gets another hit. That Porlac is now in a very, very dangerous situation. Well, he's decided to push forward, but this T-3485, the basic version, hasn't, and he's still very vulnerable. As you can see, the guy has taken a couple of rounds through the hull already, and if he stays at that spot, pick a spot, that's it, and then fire at that spot when you think the target's going to be moving through it. We've now got an ARLV-39. Oh, that was a big hit. Right on the gun as well, so that's probably put his gun out of action. Oh, that was very, very close. It did track the T-34, but he used his repair kit, so he won't be able to do that again if he gets hit the second time. Looking away, looking for another target, he finds this guy. That's the T-3485M, which is the next derivation of the T-34. It was an upgrade, and of course it is the premium version of the T-3485. So anyone can buy one of those. You have to, oh, Porlac tank goes down with one hit there. But yes, he had been hit before. That was the guy we set alight. Sadrin's Vac is having a good game. We're 4 down on the enemy at the moment, so it's not a good game for his team, although it is a good game for Sadrin's Vac. He's got a lot of targets out there he's got to kill. Now, again, I mentioned you need to pick a spot, dial in on that spot, and then wait for the enemy to drive through it. If you can get it right, like that, that was a direct hit, a blind hit on the target. Now he's aiming for the T-34-85, and that's another blind hit on the target. He assumed that the T-34 was still there. Unfortunately, he wasn't. He's moved. And now we've got enemy tanks approaching. They outflanked our guys by going around through the bowl and have come up behind them. Although we do have a couple of tanks right at the top of the hill, including an OI, funnily enough. Wrong place for an OI to go. What happened, though, is the enemy totally neglected the ice road. Well, apart from that one Chi-2 who died. And so now we're in a situation whereby we are open on one flank, but the enemy doesn't seem to know it. But they might be taking advantage of it. In fact, they have. Here comes the M10. And he does take a hit, but we're taking fire from the 76mm gun. And we're blocking damage to the tracks.
We're done for. Everyone get out.
Unfortunately, we couldn't keep doing it forever. The M10's got such a fast fire rate. And of course, it is a premium vehicle. And in the end, we went down. So, unfortunately, there's no more that we can contribute to the game. But Saturn's Vac did get 3 kills. Unfortunately, his team are down by 3. So the chances of them actually winning this game is very, very remote. Let's have a quick look and see what's going on. Well, we can see the M10 gets stopped by the OI. One shot. Well, he had lost a fair amount of hit points to Saturn's Vacs. And you can see the enemy VP is also firing in this general direction. We're just going to get a bit closer. There you go. Oh, that was a direct hit. Well, you can see exactly where the enemy Arty is firing from. Let's come up here. I don't think the enemy Arty will be able to get him now because he's come very close to the cliff edge and it's very difficult to get a shot in there. If he goes up the end where he is now, though, he might actually receive a few rounds from the enemy VP. Now, he's telling his teammates to come back to save the cap, because there is an enemy KV-2. We can't see him at the moment, but he is actually on the rise coming up. So I think what we'll do is we'll come out a bit. We might actually see, there it is, it's KV-2. And the moment he moved forward, the KV-2 was transmitting information to the VP, who's now dialed in on the OI. Even though we do have the early warning skill in use, the fact is you don't really need it because there is a sound cue which goes off when an enemy RT fires in your general direction. The Strip 42 is poking up every now and then to take a shot. He's going to get a big enough a surprise though, because any second now one of our guys is going to shoot into his side. The Panzer IV. In fact, the OI derps him. And now the enemy KV-2 is going after the Chi-2 and the Panzer IV. Kills the IV. Now, that KV-2 will reload in time. It's now 3 versus 5. But the OI can kill the KV-2. And the Nashorn has decided to make a run for it. KV-2 goes down, so does the Chi-2, and the OI is on his last legs because, of course, he's keeps receiving Arty rounds. The Nashorn has been wiped out. Let's get a bit closer, see what's actually going on. Not so sure the enemy Arty now knows where he is, because he's the enemy Arty's aiming closer to the cap area and the OI has moved closer to the bridge. And here comes the OI, the AMX rather, and that was the 90mm gun, so he's out the game and it's all over. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Sajrensvac in the 105 leFH18B2. He managed to get a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 20. Got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle, and he got the high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game overall, as well as a win rate of 9,798, which is super unicum and quite a bit more as well. Sadly, he didn't survive the game, but he did actually get the highest damage in the game at 3,708 hit points. Second highest was the enemy Fifi, who managed 2,322. As you saw, kept firing those rounds in. Must have been running short. He got a Confederate out that game. And the third highest damage, well, that actually went to the Cheetu on our team with 1,354. So at least we got 2 of the people that were placed. The AMX DLC, by the way, he got an Orlix medal for killing 2 or more enemy tanks or tank destroyers, at least 1 tier higher in a light tank. When it came to kills, we can see the top scorer was in fact the OI with 4 kills. 3 kills went to Sajrensvac, and also to the KV2, the M10 RBFM on the enemy team. And in joint third place, it was the Cheetu on our team and the AMX DLC on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, we can see the top scorer, despite the fact that he actually was on the losing team, Sajrensvac, got 856, which means he's got the top on amount of damage as well as base XP, but missed out by just 1 tank on getting the highest number of kills. So 856 went to Sajrensvac, 812 went to the enemy Fifi, who was very busy, and in third place it was the KB2 with 684. He fired 33 rounds before he was actually wiped out. 13 direct hits on the enemy, 5 penetrating shots, and 18 splash. Damage of 3,708 in total, of which 3,512 were at more than 300 meters. The difference being the M10 RBFM, which was very, very close at the end of the game. 5 hits received from the enemy, 3 of those penetrated, 2 non-penetrations. Those were the shots that actually went in and were eaten up by the tracks, but the other ones managed to hit the gun shield, and of course they went through and penetrated. He blocked damage of 115 hit points, damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 3, and he did 119 hit points of damage assistance in the game. On a premium count, he actually made a profit of 133,763 credits, including getting Courageous Resistance, because of course he did get a medal in a losing or drawn game. He also picked up 2,793 experience points out of this one, including getting 711 for Courageous Resistance, again for the same reason, getting a medal in a losing or drawn game. So very good game there by Sajrensvac. It's a pity that he actually died. In fact, I did, as I was at the time, mentioning that seemingly nobody had nobody had defended the ice road, and that it was fully open, and sooner or later the enemy might take notice of that. In fact, they did in the end, and that's why he lost. But it was a good try nonetheless. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, and thank you for watching.